Tonight, we sit down with Vermont's Secretary of Human Services to get his thoughts on Vermont's child protection system. Good evening, I'm George Mallet. Stephanie is at Jazz Fest and we'll check in with her shortly. The Legislative Committee on Child Protection is in the process of holding hearings across the state. The meetings come on the heels of two toddlers dying in Vermont. Both had ties to DCF. The first was 2-year-old Desiree Shelton back in February. Her stepfather has pleaded not guilty to her murder. The second was 14-month-old Peyton Giraud in April. His mother pleaded not guilty to his murder. Both children were being monitored by the Department for Children and Families before their deaths. The Agency of Human Services oversees DCF, and for the first time tonight, we're hearing from the head of that agency, Secretary Doug Racine. WPTC's Bridget Shanahan joins us now with more. Bridget.
Well, that's right, George. Secretary Racine says he is taking in any information he can about how to improve the Agency of Human Services and specifically the Department for Children and Families. So at this point, he has no plans to attend the hearings being held by the Legislative Committee on Child Protection. So we brought some of their concerns directly to him. The Human Services Secretary, Doug Racine, will not be there listening. He plans to do so from his office. Getting reports from others will be worried that the presence of the Committee on Child Protection hearings being held across the state will deter people from telling their stories.
But I'm getting reports.
His office oversees the Department for Children and Families, state workers who come under fire and extensive scrutiny. Recent deaths of Vermont children. We brought some of your concerns to him.
We oftentimes see in our county, which is a fairly rural county, that our pediatricians and family practitioners are trained in identifying disabilities.
Particularly in rural areas, that doctors have trouble recognizing child abuse and or potential child abuse.
We could be, we should be looking at that. That is coming up. Yes, we need to talk.
He said there are other changes too already in the works. More staffing and change in policy when it comes to how DCF handles serious cases of child abuse. He says those will address some of the concerns there at the meetings in Chester, Manchester, and Rutland on Tuesday.
But I'm hearing some things that we already are aware of.
As to that underlying theme, repeatedly heard all 3 meetings, questions about family reunification. State colleges in Vermont suggest DCF employees reunite children with their families if it's safe to do so. But many said unfit parents are being given too many chances.
She had 5 other children that had been removed from her custody, yet she was allowed a chance with this baby.
It's not part of the family. You know, sometimes the reports are talking about, well, child versus the family. Child's part of it.
Again, Racine has no concrete plans to attend one of those legislative hearings, but he did say he might go to one next week. There are 3 more scheduled for tomorrow and another 3 set for next Tuesday. We'd like more information on those public hearings and where they're being held on our website at WPTV.com. Bridget Shanahan, WPTV, Channel 5 North.
Hello and welcome to another edition of your Human Service News and Information. I'm Hassan Rashid. I'm your host, and I'll be with you for approximately 25 more minutes. So it's always excellent being here with you, and it's such a great achievement to come into your lives again. This is your history and community. This is your Human Service News and Information. News and information from the human service sector and industry in New England. So I greet you and welcome you with the cordial of peace. Okay, for those of you that are interested in whether CCTV is going to be open for the holiday, well, I have the information for you here right now. On Friday, CCTV will be closed and it will reopen on Monday. That's Monday the 7th, if I'm correct. Monday the 7th. So write that down or record it and pass it along that CCTV will be closing for the Independence holiday weekend and will be closed from Friday the 4th until Monday the 7th. So, okay, with that, I'd like to greet you again. So, for those of you who are interested in what's going on, CCTV, when we reopen next week after the holiday, well, there is a Okay, on Sundays and Tuesdays, there's free public drop-ins. Okay, Sunday, the hours are from 4 to 5:30 p.m. and Tuesdays, the hours are from 3 to 5:45 p.m. Anyone may come in and use computers during these 3 hours free of charge. Use is limited to 1 hour if others are waiting. So on Monday, there is a, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 3 until 5:45 p.m. There's a member drop-in. That's CCTV members may enjoy computer use free of charge. Non-members pay $5 per visit. Use is limited to 1 hour if others are waiting. Okay, computers for 50 and over. If you're 50 and over, well, this is a special day for you. That's a Monday, and the time is from 1 to 3 p.m. And people over 50 may help get help learning to use computers. The first 2 visits are free. After 2 visits, the program is free to CCTV members. So on Thursday, there's edit help. That's from 6 to 9 p.m. Receive Final Cut Pro, DVD burning, compression, or other help with CCTV video projects. Open to CCTV Access members with open production contracts working on content for CCTV channels or websites. Okay, so that's a little rundown, a brief synopsis of what's going on here for you at CCTV. Okay, so here's getting back to Computers for 50s, which will be held for people over 50, will be held Monday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Cambridge Community Television. So from July to September 2014, there's the mini lesson series held every Monday at 2 p.m. So on July the 7th, the title of this mini lesson will be Finding Recipes Online. July 14th, Methods of Data Storage. July 21st, Hulu. Okay, July 28th, Yelp. August 4th, right-clicking and keyboard shortcuts. August 11th, review websites. August 18th, internet search engines. August 25th, bookmarking websites. September 1, CCTV closed for Labor Day. Okay, another big holiday is coming up. That's September 1st, so you get ready for that one. On September 8th, downloading from your camera. September 15th, internet security. September 22nd, making stamps online. And September 29th, streaming devices. So there's quite a bit schedule here for you, so you come on out and participate. If you'd like additional information, you can call 617-401-4009. That's CCTV. We're located right here in the heart of Central Square. So, okay, then one more thing. There's also a newsletter available here at CCTV, and that's absolutely free of charge, and that will also give you a good overview of what's going on here through the weeks and the months. Okay, so the title of this edition of the CCTV newsletter is, there's a big article, hit article entitled Why is Net Neutrality So Important? So you come on in, we're at 438, and pick up your free copy of the CCTV newsletter. Okay, I'm Hassan Rashid, and I'd like to move right along. We got to get back to that video, to open a video, which was a different story, human service story from one of the different areas in the mosaic of human services in New England. That was a story out of Vermont, and it was about how the Vermont Human Service Secretary talks about DCF, Department of Children and Families, will not go to hearings. Okay, Secretary Racine worries his presence at legislative hearing will deter people from speaking. Okay, this the video was about Secretary of Human Services. He sits down with WPTV to give his thoughts on Vermont child protection system. The Legislative Committee on Child Protection is in the process of holding hearings across the state. The meeting comes on the heels of 2 toddlers under the supervision of the Department of Children and Family dying in Vermont. So it sounds something familiar with what's going on here in Massachusetts with the Department of Children families, okay, and children, and especially children dying under the care or under the supervision of DCF, the Department of Children and Families. So we're going to get more on that, but we can just give you just a brief rundown of these things, so we don't have much time to just give you a complete overview of what's going on. We can only just briefly give it to you, but so we can move right along and share some other valuable news highlights with you. Okay, policy update. The second session of the 113th Congress has included considerations of key issues that are important to low-income families and children. Okay, unemployment, the area category of unemployment insurance. Federal emergency unemployment benefits expired December 28th, 2013, and by April 5th of this year, more than 2 million unemployed workers will have lost, and well, they did lose more than 120,000 across New England. Unemployment insurance benefits provide critical assistance in time of need, can help mitigate the negative effects of economic instability and poverty, according to supplemental poverty measures. In the 2012 unemployment insurance kept 2.5 million people out of poverty, including an estimate of 600,000 children. On April 7th, after 3 earlier failed attempts, the Senate passed the Emergency Unemployment Compensation Extension Act of 2014, House H.R. 3979, to restore unemployment insurance for long-term employment, but since then, the House of Representatives have failed to act despite the leadership of New England Senator Jack Reed and others. Repeated attempts to extend these benefits have failed. Okay, Early Learning Initiative. The NEC has joined other states and national groups in the Strong Start for Children campaign, which supports proposals to strengthen and build federal-state partnerships to promote universal pre-K focus on 4-year-old from families at or about 200% of the poverty line. The NEC also supports the creation of a new early Head Start child care partnership to help states and local communities to extend high-quality birth to 3 programs, and agreed that we must continue to grow Head Start, early Head Start, and the child care and developmental block grant programs critical to low-income families and their children. Okay, taxes. Okay, we just might as well get into this too. Taxes. The Child Tax Credit, CTC, and Earned Income Tax Credit, EITC, are 2 of the most important tax provisions for children, helping families meet their children's basic needs, keeping millions of children out of poverty. They're essential to the economic stability of many low and middle income families and help promote long-term economic growth for a country. And they do more than boost families' income. They're also linked to improved school achievements and increased work hours and future earnings as adults. NEC Strong supports making permanent improvements made to these credits in the 2019 American Recovery Reinvestment Act, which are set to expire in 2017. So this is something that you can contact your local, state, and federal elected officials about, and tell them you're interested in unemployment insurance, early learning initiatives, and taxes, child tax credit, earned income tax credit, and how the policies on these can be supported for tax-paying citizens, their families, and residents. Okay, all right. Okay, we have some good news to share to start this week. The Conference Committee budget proposal released late on Sunday includes about $200 million in new human service funding and an $8 million annualized salary reserve for low-paid workers. These 2 huge victories were only possible because your advocacy and the support of the Conference Committee and our legislative champions, including Senator Patrick Teresa Murray, Senator Karen Spilka, House Speaker Robert DeLeo, and Representative David Linsky. The $2 million in new funding will provide new support for programs and workers by updating the rate of the state pays the rate the state pays human service providers, which haven't changed in more than 20 years, an $8 million salary reserve will make sure workers not yet covered under new rates get the increase they deserve. Okay, when we started in January, we asked if you would pledge to make this historic year for human services. Well, members of the caring force didn't just take the pledge, they delivered on it. You made this funding possible by sending more than 2,000 emails to legislators, making hundreds of phone calls, showing up at 6 budget hearings around the state, and being vigilant and patient. And we know that you continue to push the envelope to make sure human service programs and workers get the support they deserve. We appreciate your continued support, and we'll be in touch with next step as the budget hits the Governor Patrick's desk. Thank you again for being an incredible force for change in the human service sector. So that's a thank you note from the caring force for all those of you who made it possible that the $2 million in new human service funding is available now, and $8 million annualized salary reserves for low-paid workers. So they thank you, and so do I. Okay, okay. The NAACP. Okay, I haven't heard from them in a long time. Okay, the NAACP encourages everyone to contact their federally elected representatives in the U.S. House and Senate, and strongly encourage them to hold hearings on Voting Rights Amendment Act of 2014, and to move the Voting Rights Amendment Act of 2014 through the legislative process as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. This will enable us to offer amendments to strengthen and modernize the bill during marking up and for consideration. For more information, okay, so for more information, there's you can contact the Washington Bureau at nacpnet.org. That's a Washington Bureau at nacpnet.org for more information about supporting the Voting Rights Amendment Act. Okay, okay, so that's a very important issue, and it must be supported. So I advise you to contact your local officials, state officials, federal officials on that, and see what they can do to support of that legislation. Okay. Okay. National Call-In Day for protecting tenants at foreclosures. Okay. Call your legislators today and urge them to co-sponsor the Permanently Protecting Tenants at Foreclosure Act. The Representative Keith Allison, Democrat, Minnesota, and Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat, Connecticut, had introduced legislation to the House and Senate known as the Permanently Protecting Tenants at Foreclosure Act. This legislation protection for tenants whose landlords are in foreclosure and adds an important enforcement. So join advocates across the country and call your representatives and senators to urge them to support permanently protecting tenants at foreclosures. Okay, so that's another issue that you can get on the phone or email, etc. However you contact your elected officials and tell them it says Protecting Tenants at Foreclosure Act. That's the one. So you make sure you do that. Okay. Okay. We're gonna just move right along to some local things. Okay. Okay. There's a local issue here. I'd like to give this a shout out to spare change vendor. I'm sure you're aware of spare change. Excuse me about that. Sorry about that. But the spare change, those gentlemen you see on the papers, I mean, in the streets with the newspaper, selling it for $1. That's all they want. It's $1. And that's how they earn a great deal of their livelihood, because they get a percentage of the profits from selling one paper. Okay, but this is what I want to bring to your attention. I know some of you are probably aware of Mike Johnson. You've probably seen him. He's been out there selling spare change for years, but unfortunately he's no longer with us. He passed away, and I'd just like to send out my condolence, and you can send out your condolence too by contacting Spare Change. So I want to give you the address of Spare Change here, if I can if I can find it, so you can send your condolence for Mike Johnson. Okay. Okay, I don't see. Okay, where's that information? Spirit Chains. Okay, sorry about that. I think they're at 1151 Massachusetts Avenue, but I do have their email, so if you'd like to email that information in, that's www.spiritchangenews.net. So once again, Spirit Change News vendors, volunteers, writers, staff, and boards of directors want to express their heartfelt condolence in the recent passing of a longtime vendor, Mike Johnson. So they dedicated, I think, the June issue of Spirit Change to Mike Johnson, the memory of Mike Johnson. So you be sure to contact them and leave your condolence too, because it's a very serious issue, homelessness, and we should address it or try to support it, and the eradication, that is the eradication of homelessness in any way that we can. Okay, right now I've been speaking out at the City Council and their comment period on a number of issues. I'd like to give you a brief synopsis of some of the things that I have been addressing, some of the issues that I've been addressing at the City Hall. Okay, I went on record several times maintaining support for the Foundry building. I know you've all heard about the Foundry building dilemma. And I went on record in support of Foundry building being used as a center to create and expand economic opportunity for the poor. But what they want to do with it, and they want to fix it up, invest $6 million in it, and just give it to the art community. So I feel that art should never be elevated, exalted, or able to circumvent poverty concerns as a municipality. So I feel that the Foundry building is an ideal location for a venue to create and expand economic opportunities for the poor. So I addressed them, I addressed the City Council on that issue. And another issue is the fact that I'm a part of a committee entitled the Restoration of Bread and Jams. Okay, Bread and Jams was a Harvard Square homeless shelter that had survived in Harvard Square for over 25 years. And all of a sudden, due to federal cutbacks, they had to close their doors. So what we're trying to do, the Committee to Restore Bread and Jams, is try to get some of the human services restored, well, get all of the human service restored, plus the funding that kept the doors of Bread and Jams open. So I'll address the City Council on that. And hopefully in the future, we're going to be addressing the City Council on the Central Square Action Team. Okay, this is an action team to advise the City Council, the city administrators of things to improve Central Square, which has been designated as by the state as a cultural center, what is known as cultural center. And because of this designation, they want to put the blame on homeless people and poor people in Central Square. That some homeless people reside in Central Square. Some homeless people, they come through Central Square all the time. But the thing is, they say that the problem with improving Central Square is the homeless people. It says that the homeless people are the problems in Central Square. Well, I don't agree with that. I feel that the homeless people there are just important as the business people and all of this prize development that they want to bring into Central Square. So I feel that if they want to create a Central Square action team, they should include some of the homeless people on that action team. And that's one of the issues that I'm going to address in the future at the City Hall. So if you're interested in City Hall activities, I'll tell you, since we're on the subject of City Hall, today at 5:30, the Ordinance Committee will conduct a public hearing at the Thomas R. Flattery. I guess that's the Thomas R. Flattery building. No, on the Thomas our Friday zoning petition requesting the City Council to amend the zoning map to the City of Cambridge to expand medical marijuana overlays. So if you're interested in that, they will be meeting at around the 5:30 Harriet Edlis meeting. That's 459 Broadway. That's at the Ringe Latin School. So that's something you can go in and express your views on. You know, you can address things too. You're part of the master plan, so you can go on in, and each resident and citizen is part of everything that happens, that transpires at City Hall. So on to July 8th, the Health and Environmental Committee will conduct a public meeting to discuss the Cambridge Protection Action Committee, okay, on July 9th, okay, and I'll get this one. The House Committee will conduct a public meeting to discuss the Community Development Department's efforts to preserve expiring use buildings and its discussion about inclusionary zoning and a nexus study. That's 831 Massachusetts Avenue, basement conference room, July 9th, 5:30. So that's just about all the time that we have for you today. I am Hassan Rashid, and I always remind you and suggest you do to be successful, keep your nose clean, play it straight, and don't forget to assist someone in need of your help. So until next time, I leave you with the greetings of peace, and this has been your Human Service News and Information. We can't do it all, but we can only give you a brief synopsis, but fortunately, we'll continue to do that as long as we can. So I leave you once again with greetings of peace. And don't forget, CCTV will be closing on Friday and opening back up on Monday. So you have a good holiday, drive safely. If you're going up to Canada, make sure you got your passport, because that's the only way you're going to get across the border to visit your friends, families, or relatives, or enjoy some of the outdoor recreation up in Canada. Okay, I leave you once again with the greetings of peace. Until next time, peace. So